Okay, guys, the Utah Jazz lose a heartbreaker, honestly, to the Golden State Warriors. This is the Hoops Nerd postgame show. Before we get into it, and before we talk about the Warriors and the Jazz, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it if you liked this video and subscribed. It doesn't hurt anything, and then you get to know when the videos are up. And if you hit the bell, you'll know when we go live. And if you want to chat with me live, join the channel. It helps support me, and it gets you a part of the live chat. And if you're an all-star, there's some other perks. We've got to get back to doing those perks again, guys. It's been tough. The season is a grind. Some of those perks we got to adjust. But anyways, nice win for the Golden State Warriors against the Utah Jazz. The Warriors come into this game without Draymond Green and without Andre Iguodala. And then they had a late scratch without Klay Thompson. And so kind of nice for the Warriors to win this one. The Jazz were without Donovan Mitchell. They were out Hassan Whiteside, although I don't know if losing Hassan Whiteside has been really that big a deal because of his just poor play. But anyways, let's talk about the Warriors a little bit. So on a night when, let's see, I think we're on the wrong game here. On a night when the Golden State Warriors were without like we said, without Draymond Green, they didn't have Klay Thompson. They didn't have Andre Iguodala. They were missing three important guys for their team, and they still get this win tonight. And they found a way to win despite Stephen Curry shooting 1 for 13 from three. When Steph shoots like that and you still win the game, that's pretty impressive. And that really is an impressive defensive victory for the team. And if you're a Warriors fan, you got to be pretty happy because you won this game and you didn't have Draymond Green, and it was a defensive victory. You know, Gary Payton had two steals that were out of this world. These two steals that he had, let's just look at them. It was like two in a row, and they were just backbreakers for the Jazz. Right here, you see Trent Forrest, who for some reason kicks it out, and Gary Payton just gets it and goes back and gets the bucket. You'll see it's 66-75 here, and then literally the next play, 77-66, he just takes the ball away from Jordan Clarkson and goes back the other way. He's just an impressive defender, and he's one of those guys that's not going to play big-time minutes. But what a luxury it is to have Gary Payton like that when you've got Draymond Green and other guys missing. It's fantastic. Andre Iguodala. Honestly, after this season, if they don't have Andre Iguodala, Gary Payton kind of fills that role. What a luxury. What a nice thing for them. But yes, like we said, Steph Curry had a bad shooting night, 5 for 20 from the field, but that was because of the 1 for 13 from three. He just couldn't find the range. He only scores 13 points. He did have 6 assists and 4, let's see, 6 assists. Is this? Yeah. And 4 rebounds. So, but just a bad shooting night for Steph. And he's just had a year where he's just been below 40% from three for the first time in like a long time. If you go look at Basketball Reference, it's kind of nuts. I have the biggest crush on Otto Porter, and he was really good tonight. 13 points. He got the start. Andrew Wiggins, I'm kind of surprised by the numbers here because it felt like he impacted it more than he did, and maybe it was just on the defensive end. He was just 6 for 17 from the field, so you could argue the Jazz did a good job defending him. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. This is actually surprising. I was expecting to look at this and have him look a lot better. But anyways, Wiggins has been what the Warriors have done with Wiggins this year and turned him into just a high-level starter is phenomenal. Steve Kerr deserves a ton of credit, but also Andrew Wiggins to just get better. I don't know what it is, but he figured it out this year in a lot of ways. He kind of started figuring things out last year, and he's really kind of turned into a solid defensive player. And it does feel like he just plays within their team scheme a little bit better. He has just 1 assist tonight. That's kind of the name of the game with him. But man, he's been shooting. I think let's just look at it real quick. His shooting from three this year has been unbelievable. What is he shooting this year? So from three, 40%, and that's a career. I was like thinking it was like, well, I'm off. No, from going from a rookie 31% to this season, he's 40%, almost 41. Career year from Wiggins from three. Looks like he's also having a career year from just the field in general. So he's having a 48-40 season. Good for Andrew Wiggins. He's really figured it out. And it's part of the reason why in a year where Steph's shooting has taken a slight dip, his has gone up. And it's in a lot of ways probably compensating for that. I don't know if I have a lot of other things to say. Jordan Poole was really good tonight. 20 points, 53-44. My goodness. 4 for 9 from 3. He was a big reason why they won this game. 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Really great stuff from him. Let's see. DWCB, you ought to have a crush on Porter. Me too. Yeah, I mean, you guys know who the people who've been watching this show for a long time know how much I love Otto Porter, and him going to the Nuggets, or not the Nuggets, the Warriors was nice. And I saw that this offseason, and it hurt my feelings because I wanted him on the Jazz. I mean, honestly, at this point, if you look at Rudy Gay and Otto Porter Jr., who'd you rather have? I'm going to hurt all of our feelings right now. It's a loss. So we're going to just make things worse. That's probably the right thing to do, right? Let's pull up Rudy Gay. Let's pull up Otto Porter. This is blind, so I might be wrong. This is blind. But let's just see. 8.4 points, 47% from the field, 40% from 3. Rudy Gay. Oh, come on, internet. Come on, internet. It's not working for me. Pull it up. Come on. I'm going to wait like 3 more seconds. You know what? Is Quinn Snyder the IT guy for the NBA? Is Quinn Snyder stopping me from showing what's going on here? Because, all right, fine. We're going to go to Basketball Reference. I'm going to be stubborn tonight. We're just going to look. A lot of people told me before the season that Rudy Gay was just going to fix everything. All right, so let's go here. 41% from the field, 35% from 3. And we saw that this is 47% and 40. All right, so the Warriors win that one. Painful. Painful stuff. All right, let's talk about the Jazz a little bit. If Bojan Bogdanovic makes one of these threes, the Jazz win this game. If Royce O'Neal makes one of these threes, I mean, he made 1 for 7, but if he could just make an extra one. 0 for 3 from Royce O'Neal. Rudy Gobert took that 1 3, and it almost made me, I would have lost my mind if that 3 Rudy took. And it looked pretty good. I want to see him take it again. Rudy did not have a really great night. I know the 18 rebounds and 12 points, but the defense wasn't super impressive to me tonight. And I wonder if it is just because of the ankle he's dealing with. And after the game, they said he has a strained calf. So pain and more pain might be coming for Jazz fans, as Rudy Gobert might be out. I'm guessing he's probably out tomorrow. And if Bojan Bogdanovic, who looked like he banged knees with one of the Warriors players, if he's out for a long time, maybe he'll play tomorrow even. But if he's hurt, Rudy Gobert's hurt, then the pain train has arrived. Choo-choo! Let's not choo-choo ever again. Mike Conley had 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. He played 29 minutes. This is the difference of playing with and without Donovan Mitchell, right? When Donovan Mitchell is in the game, Mike Conley is playing off of him and is getting easier shots. He did hit these threes. They were nice, and these were early in the game, really. 3 for 5, that's great, but he couldn't hit anything. Sorry. He couldn't hit anything from 2, and he had that block at the. He got that one shot blocked at the end of the game. It's rough stuff. Mike Conley, in a lot of ways, is a 3-point shooter now, and that's kind of what he is. He's got that floater, and he's got the 3-point shot, and if he can't even get the floater off, then he's kind of just a 3-point threat, and that's pretty rough. 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Ezekiel Raisibe, how are you handling the crypto market correction, James? Should we talk about the pain train a little more? Did you have to make it worse, Ezekiel? Did you have to remind me about that? My gosh. It dropped. My payday was like a few days ago on Thursday, and I always put like a little sprinkle in there. And then it dropped again. The dip. How far can the dip go? Basically for the Jazz and for all of us who, put a little bit away in the crypto market. Like the dip for crypto is going about as well as the dip for the Utah Jazz. I was reading. Okay, this actually makes me laugh. So all these articles I like tweet like, why is all my pain from crypto going bad? Why is crypto just going terribly? And one thing I was reading is because it's like related to the stock market more than ever before, and so right now the stock market sucks too. It sucks too. So everything sucks. Everything's dipping. And apparently the Utah Jazz correlate with the stock market as well because they're dipping as well. All right? Freaking Bitcoin, Ethereum, NFTs, all of you are failing me like the Jazz perimeter defense. All right? All right? You know what would have been nice? Some of my little investments working out. You know? But anyways, you had to remind me about that. I went, you know what? I went and just put some money into Shiba Inu just for fun. Just a little bit. It's not like I'm putting big amounts of money. So when I lose money, it's like, oh crud. He gets a couple fewer McChickens for James because Bitcoin dropped. That's what. But I did buy some of that Shiba Inu just because why not? If you can put in like 20, 30, 40 bucks and get like 1,000,000 Shiba Inus, and then like one day those go to $1, I guess I'm a millionaire. So why not? Why not? Why not? Anyways, Rudy Gobert is going to probably be out tomorrow. Mike Conley, this is just a little troubling to me. He really needs Donovan Mitchell. He really, really does. We all talked about how important Rudy Gobert was, and he is. Can we also do the same thing about Donovan Mitchell? That Donovan Mitchell is really important, and when he is on the floor, the Jazz are a much different team. Without Donovan Mitchell, the Jazz have just no one that can truly impact the game offensively by like going to the rim, creating for others, things like that. Mike Conley is okay, but with a hobbled Rudy Gobert, you kind of see the limitations of Mike Conley, and I don't know. It's rough to see. Rough stuff. And so you need Donovan Mitchell who can go out there and really bend the defense and create open shots for other guys. You can really see Mitchell's impact tonight, really. But anyways, I think the thing I wanted, some of the silver linings that I saw, Trent Forrest had a really nice defensive night. He had 4 steals. They were really fun. And let's just go through them real quick if the internet will work. My internet's been not great lately. I'm not going to lie. And this is not boding well. It's not boding well. So I guess we won't look at them. I'm sorry, guys. I actually got to call the people about this because why not? Why wouldn't it work for me? But anyways, just believe me, those 4 steals were fantastic. And then Eric Paschall needs to play more. I know he had a few moments tonight that weren't great, but he had just a great defensive impact. And guess what? The Jazz lost, and he was a positive in this game. Rudy Gay had a nice night. He finally bounced back. He has been struggling big time lately. And 5 of 8 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3. That's really fantastic. 16 points. One of the better games from Rudy Gay, maybe in the season, at least in a while. Also 5 rebounds. I did see him get blown by a couple times, which was disappointing, but overall, really nice. 16 points. Nice to see. Let's see. Serious question. What will it take to get more playing time for Paschall and Butler? A new coach. At this point, it's just like, I don't know. And I think Quinn Snyder's a good coach, but like if we're talking about what's going to take to get Jared Butler on the floor, I don't know. He's not going to play. And it's as disappointing for me as it is for everyone else who's been hoping for that. And so I just wouldn't expect it. It just won't happen. They sent him to the Salt Lake City Stars. So he's not going to play. DWC injuries, that's the other thing. Maybe. Although we had injuries and he played like 2 minutes, It's just been it's been annoying. But anyways, for whatever reason, Quinn was not playing Eric Pascal, and that was the wrong choice because he has been in the last, you know, 10 games he's played, and we're starting to see a sample size that he really impacts winning. And you know what? Energy and athleticism is a talent. It is, and Pascal brings it, and he brings it in huge doses, and it helps the Jazz win. And guess what? He was efficient, 2 for 5 from the field, good enough, and he hit his three. 1 for 2 from three, you'll take it. For the season, his 3-point shooting is actually going up. So it's nice to see, and he should just play more. And Quinn was wrong about that. He should have been playing him more. Just 100%, 100%. So that's disappointing. But Quinn makes a lot of. Here's the thing, DWCB. Maybe Ingles will be traded. That's part of it. But Quinn still finds a way not to play him. He just really does not want to play him. And I don't know. I don't know. There's no easy answer to that. Quinn's just not going to play him. That's the answer. He's just not going to play. He's just not. The Jazz will likely make some trades in the offseason to clear up space for him because that's what they always have to do. They had to trade Moutier away so they could play some guys. So Quinn would stop playing him. They have to trade away Shelvin Mack so Quinn would stop playing him. And then I guess they did get Mike Conley, and so that really solidified the Jazz's backcourt. But you know what? We've been playing with the same front court, and all we did in the offseason was trade Rudy Gay for Georges Niang, and turned out Georges Niang wasn't as bad as people said. And I tried to tell people on Twitter, like, hey, he's not as bad defensively as you think. If you go watch the tape, he's not that bad. It's really overrated because some stupid local radio people who are trying to be in with Derek. And I don't even know why that became a thing to just like go after Georges Niang. I don't understand. He was fine, and turns out it's nice when you have a guy shooting 40% plus from three. Who knew? Who knew? A guy that can rebound and actually tries on defense. I know he's not a great defender, and in the playoffs, Georges Niang looked out like his athleticism wasn't there, but that was really dumb. I don't know why. I don't know why people hated on George because he wasn't that bad, honestly. He was a big deal. He helped out a lot. So it's too bad. I'd prefer Rudy Gay, to be honest. I think Rudy Gay's a better player, obviously, but he's 36, and, it'll be interesting. Can Rudy Gay hold up? We shall find out. Guys, I don't know if there's a lot else from this game to take. It's kind of tough to have Royce O'Neal miss all these shots, even though I felt like Royce went out there and battled. But 5 rebounds, 1 assist, but 0 for 4 and 0 for 3. That's tough. You need someone to have a good offensive night, Joe Ingles hit a 3. So that's nice. 5 assists for Joe, but he's not willing to shoot the ball. And maybe there's a reason he can't make anything. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know, but you know what? You know who's locked into his rotation spot is Joe Ingles. 33 minutes tonight, 4 for 10, 1 for 6. I actually don't think Joe was all that bad, but the fact that he just won't shoot threes sometimes, and in his defense, he did take 6, but when you play 33 minutes, and we know that Joe Ingles is a good 3-point shooter, why he's not shooting more, I don't know. The Jazz need him to do that. Honestly, what I would turn Joe Ingles into at this point, because Quinn is like dead set on having him play and play big minutes, is have him be that corner 3 shooter he was when he first joined the Jazz. Because we knew he could shoot the 3. And that second season where he was with the Jazz, and it was really kind of a revelation with Joe, he kind of shortened up that shooting stroke from the corner and stuff. And you know what? He can shoot it like 45% from 3, even higher than that at times from the corner. I don't know why you don't just put the ball in, just get him in the corner shooting threes. I know that a lot of people think, well, he can handle the ball a little bit, but I just think that's getting a little overrated because he won't shoot the 3, and these 5 assists aren't really doing it for you. He did make 3 points, I guess, but it's just, I don't know. This has been just kind of a rough story, and Quinn was the one who made sure he stayed on the team. So this really feels political to me. at this point. You know, he won't shoot the three enough, and he's not. I don't know. It's just really rough, and the defense is just not there. So it's tough, man. It's really tough. 33 minutes, 1 for 6. I mean, did anyone on the Warriors shoot that? I guess Andrew Wiggins was 1 for 5, but at least you're getting good defense from him. Uh, I guess he had a better night from three than Steph Curry, so maybe Joe Ingles is better than Steph Curry, right? I don't know. Just kidding. Just kidding. Anyways, rough night from Jordan Clarkson. The Jazz could have really used him going more than 3 for 13. It's so tough. I like that's the one thing with Jordan Clarkson, and I like Jordan Clarkson a lot, but man, it would be nice if he could just be consistent. Instead of being like 23% and then like 60%, can we just always be like 40 to 45% from the field? Although he's been actually pretty good this month. I'll give him a pass. He's probably getting their best defender like Gary Payton and stuff like that. Like this is the Gary Payton Jr. effect. Um, Defenders win you games, guys. Defenders win you games. So, DWCB, 33 minutes for Ingles is justified only to beef him up for trade value. I agree. I mean, at some point you've got to have him like play well, you know? Like he's got to like hit some shots. Uh I don't know. We'll see. But Danny Ainge is watching this. That's one thing. I think Joe Ingles is traded at the trade deadline, to be honest. I think he's on another team this year. And I think at the very least just to like do something with that expiring. Utah's in over the salary cap, and if they don't make some sort of moves to get under it, they are going to be looking at a very big tax bill, the repeater tax. And just so you know, if you're not clear with what the repeater tax is, and I'm not like 100%, someone can let me know. But if you're like in the luxury tax for 3 out of 4 years, then you enter the repeater tax and it like doubles the penalty for what something like along those lines. I'm not like 100% on that, but it's something along those lines. And you can bet that I'm guessing that Ryan Smith is not going to be interested in doing a repeater tax for this team. You know, this team has just gotten worse this year. Does anyone think this team looks better this year than last year? They just don't. They don't. They're not like last season. They had like a 21 game win streak or something like that, or 19 game win streak. I can't remember what it was, but it was crazy. This team went on an insane run. Jordan Clarkson has had a down season. Uh, Joe Ingles is just not the same player. He has completely fallen off a cliff. Royce O'Neal is not really defending at the same level, and he's just not quite the same player. Although I thought at the beginning of the year, Royce looked really solid to me. It's kind of disappointing. Rudy Gay's been pretty good, but I don't think he's been just like this off the wall improvement over George Niang. And, we've been trying to figure out how to get Eric Pascal on the floor, and he can't. And, moments last year where Derek Favors was actually pretty decent, and moments where he was horrible, and they've missed Hassan Whiteside. But the Jazz just don't look that much better to me, and it's disappointing. You know what I mean? It's just disappointing. I don't know what the Jazz do. I really, honestly, I don't know what they do. And the more I watch this team and the more I see games like this, I don't know if you give up any first round picks for anything. Because I don't know if this team can do it. You know what I mean? And if Rudy Gobert is going to be out for a while with a calf strain, we'll see how long he's out. If Rudy Gobert's out, Bojan Bogdanovic is out, Donovan Mitchell's out tomorrow. I'm guessing Mike Conley's not going to play much, especially if those guys are out. Uh, I mean, you got to start thinking about some pretty big trades, you know, because you've had a window this year, and this window seems to be closing very quickly. And if you think the window is shut, I mean, you can't go back with this same team. You're too old. I mean, Joe Ingles, you cannot go again with Joe Ingles at least this contract, and playing this many minutes, it's not going to work. Jordan Clarkson, I just don't know how you keep going with this, it hasn't worked. It's worked to some extent, but it's not championship caliber, I would say. just a lot of questions. Is Bojan Bogdanovic another year older? Is that something I don't know. A lot of questions. You start just thinking, you know what? Is this Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert and everyone else? We'll see what we can get, and then you retool, and maybe next year you're developing guys like Jared Butler, and maybe you can find some young players you can develop or something. I don't know, but I don't know. This is starting to get a little troubling to me. This stuff, that stuff is getting troubling because it's not happening occasionally. It's happening more and more. He's actually the last 6 weeks. Let's go see. Actually, let's go just for fun. Let's just see what is going on here. Uh, he's actually for his career, he's above his career averages. But I would just say, let's just go. I'm not even looking too hard here. Let's just look at this. All right. So this is the last 15 games for Mike Conley. He is shooting 42% from the field, 36% from three. 14 points, 4.9 steals, 4.3 rebounds. Those are good numbers, but they're not like blow the doors off. You know what I mean? It's not like putting you over the top, right? Uh, and so one thing if I could change with Jazz fans, Jazz fans can say and do whatever they want. Um, let's see, Ezekiel Raisibe, would we trade Ingles just for cap space relief? No, because he's an expiring. So either way, we get the relief. If I mean, you can just let Joe Ingles expire, and you get the cap relief. The reason why Joe Ingles' contract has value is because it could provide cap relief to someone else. So let's say the Jazz think that Eric Gordon is really good. Eric Gordon is getting paid like $18 million this year, $19 million the next, and $20 million the next. Can you? Do you think that I've looked that up? Because I've definitely looked it up. But anyway, so you trade like Joe Ingles to the Rockets, who can get that contract off their books, because then Joe Ingles will expire. They get well, it's not a bad contract because Eric Gordon's a good player. They get that contract off their books, and then if you're the Jazz, you bring on a guy that has like 2 more years. That's the idea. That's why actually like Eric Gordon for Joe Ingles is something that I think might actually be possible. And he is a really good player. If you replace Jordan Clarkson with Eric Gordon, you've got yourself quite the upgrade. But anyways, these are not numbers. These are not the type of numbers that make me go untradeable. And if these are the type of numbers that can get you like a Ben Simmons, everyone's favorite guy, or like some other impact guy that can really improve your team and that fits with Donovan Mitchell, can improve your defense, your rebounding, or whatever, then great. But like I don't really love that like anytime anyone says, "Hey, you know what? What if we traded Mike Conley for something?" And then you lose your mind. And I know Donovan Mitchell on Instagram yelled at that Utah Jazz fans news guy. By the way, he's kind of a weirdo, but like I like Mike Conley too, guys. I just think that I don't think he's untradeable, and I just don't know if this team is it. Mike Conley's old. Joe Ingles is old. Bojan Bogdanovic is old. Jordan Clarkson is not super efficient, and we are relying on those guys a lot. A lot. There's just not a lot of athleticism on this team. Not a lot of I don't know. Not a lot of guys that are going out there and making big time. I don't know. It's hard to, I don't know. The Jazz are in a really tough spot. They're just in a tough spot. Because honestly, you're not going to trade Mike Conley unless you're getting something really nice in return. You know. But I also at the same time don't want to treat it like that's like blasphemy to suggest a trade of Mike Conley. Because that's just, you know what I mean? It might be, if there's something out there that can improve this team, then you got to look at it. Trading Joe Ingles for like a bag of chips right now helps out, because then it can allow Eric Pascal and And guys like, I mean, even Trent Forrest playing more minutes. At least he's playing good defense. He can't shoot the ball like at all. At all. But if he has a night like tonight where Trent Forrest has 4 assists, that's pretty good, you know? And he kind of knows what he can do. I think Trent Forrest as a backup can be pretty decent. I would prefer that we develop and play. No, Conley for Westbrook is a no. But I would prefer that we like give Jared Butler time and allow him to improve and play. But that's not how this team works. So it's disappointing. But at the very least, I do think that Trent Forrest does some really nice things on the floor, and he was efficient, 2 for 4 from the field, and the 4 steals was what made me really happy. Although in the end he's -8, you know, and I think you can kind of see why. They weren't guarding him. They really weren't. What's interesting about Forrest is he's able to score even when they're backing off like 10 feet from him. He's a pretty athletic guy, so it's nice to see. But anyways, tough loss for the Jazz, guys. It gets us into trade mode, which is always not a good idea. Always a bad sign. And guess what? The Jazz get to play the Phoenix Suns tomorrow. So things aren't getting any better. And guess what? They're probably not playing with Rudy Gobert and Bojan Bogdanovic tomorrow. So the pain train has arrived. All aboard. All right, let's give a shout out to our All-Stars tonight. These are the guys that just make it so awesome for me. They make me so happy. You guys are amazing. I just appreciate every single one of you. Let's give a shout out to Tyson Price. The Price is Right. Baby Elliott Matson. X marks the spot with Zintas. Jordan the Goat. Besserell. Ryan Perry the Legend. Joshua Hansen the Danish Destroyer. And one Anton Warren. Ezekiel Ricibe the man from down under. JT Buckets Wardell. Austin R. Grant. Editor Extraordinaire. Eric C. The C stands for Champion. Donald Schooley. Schooling all of us. DW to CB. Dare Williams to Carlos Boozer. Jorge Arti Zaga Mi Amigo de Abajo. Lee Christensen driving the lane. Patrick Kubo the Connoisseur. Robert Hall of Fame. And DW Jazz going all the way. I didn't see Robert Hall tonight. He's been missing. Where is my man, Robert Hall? Anyways, guys, it's been fun. Don't tell me about Bitcoin. Don't talk to me about Bitcoin. I don't know. Maybe we can get in early on some of these players, like they're getting in early on certain cryptos, and they can actually develop. Put all my crypto in Jared Butler, all right? And we'll see how they go. Anyways, guys, if you're new here, like and subscribe to the channel. I would sure appreciate it. It would make me happy, and it would grow the channel, and we want the channel to grow, right? If you're a regular, hit the bell. Join the channel too. Support the channel. I would appreciate it. It just helps me out and makes life better. For all of you that are watching right now, by the way, it's a Jazz loss and we got a bunch of people watching. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You guys all deserve a candy bar. So go out right now and buy a candy bar and eat it and enjoy it and say thanks, James. This was the advice that I needed. All right, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you next time.